Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday already, middle of the week, September the 25th. You realize we're almost to October? A lot of good things happen in October. I know you love your pumpkin spice. Ugh. I'll be back to tell you about the fishing, though, in just a moment. Hey, y'all. Captain Marty here to tell you that when my friends are in the market for a new boat engine, repair, or repower, I send them to the best in the business, and that's at Ratcliffe Marine in Belhaven. Ratcliffe Marine is your official Honda outboard dealer. Honda motors are designed to get you on the water fast and get you back to the dock safely and quickly. Ratcliffe Marine is best known as the largest repower center in North Carolina. So when you're in the market for a new motor or you need your Honda service, go to Ratcliffe Marine, 865 Highway 264, Belhaven.
Hi, I'm LB Daniels, and when you want great local seafood, you go to Fresh Catch Seafood in Wanchese. How do I know it's great? My daddy is one of the fishermen that brings it to the docks. At Fresh Catch Seafood, you will get local seafood right from their fish house. They are a family-owned business that knows the name of every fisherman that comes to their docks. Visit their social media pages to see the latest catches. My daddy would love to put his tuna on your dinner plate, so get it now from Fresh Catch Seafood in Wanchese.
So if you've been on Facebook or anywhere else, you notice lately that a lot of swell on the beach, a lot of swell in the inlets. That's always the number one concern for charter boats and offshore sport fishing boats is getting across the bar. The bar is the sandbar that connects the North Beach to the South Beach at all three of our major inlets, Hatteras, Oregon Inlet, and Ocracoke. And when the Pamlico Sound and all the other sounds start flushing out through these inlets and you hit a wind or a swell that's coming in, it stacks up really quickly. It can be very dangerous. And these guys are not going to push their luck or put themselves in danger, especially going out. There are times when the bar jumps up and gets rougher during the day while you're offshore and you have to come back in and deal with it. But it's a lot easier to get in with the sea on your stern across the bar than it is to go out with the sea head on. But the difference is you can always turn around and go fish another day. And that happens quite a bit. Today, at press time, the boats were going to go give it a try, and I have not heard yet whether they were successful or not, but we'll talk more about that in tomorrow's report. But our fleets were pretty much laid to the dock as far as offshore and nearshore fishing. We've been having very good dolphin fishing, as you know. Maybe you don't know, but dolphin being mahi, just a real crowd pleaser. The backbone of the charter fleet is built on mahi or tuna. We get 4 different kinds of tuna as a rule around here, and we've been having good fishing, but it's been mostly all about the mahi. So that should resume, but when is the question, because we got more weather coming as we get work towards the weekend. We'll just have to wait and see. There's also been billfish in the catches, a lot of white marlin. Boats in the last few days of fishing had 6 to 8 white marlin. The top boats did, all released, of course. A few sailfish, a scattered blue marlin, and there's been some big wahoos as well. That's all old news. We're just talking about what was biting. Here we are almost at the 1st of October, and what we would be looking for next is the yellowfin fall tuna bite. A lot of people wait. And you do have, I have to say, you do have the luxury nowadays, especially if you're local, of watching the catches to see when it gets really good and then being able to book on short notice. But if you were going to look at calendar dates, and I would say my right now, the way things are, I would say if you're interested in yellowfin tuna fishing, and it can get very good, I would shoot from the middle of October to Thanksgiving. That would be, there's some ahead and some beyond that, but that would be the safest time to go. And make sure if you can avoid a weekend, you do, and book a midday trip. The fleet is half the size. You don't have the fleet driving the tuna down. They're a surface fishery, so it might be something to think about. What we do have, now we didn't talk about the nearshore stuff. There's been drum, there's been big bluefish, and there's been ribbon fish and king mackerel. Those are the 4 things that they've been catching. But again, it doesn't matter if you're a mile from the beach. If you have to cross the bar, it might keep you from going anywhere in the ocean. What is worth talking about is the drum bite. Yesterday's report, I talked about how good it was at how many locations. And that's true. But also, there were a few dry runs on some of the piers where they didn't have much going on. But when the ocean gets stirred up, the big drum bite, and this is the time of year for all that. Back in the Sound, there's still drum. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. But there's also other things to be caught. If the swell is not so big that you can't hold bottom, it's hard to do off the beach, real hard. A little bit easier if you're on a pier. So you just put your rig on the down current side and just use enough weight to hold bottom, and it'll go straight out from the pier, as opposed to being on the beach and it could go north or south. It just can be very difficult. Remember, if you go on the pier, you don't need a fishing license, and they could give you all kinds of advice on what you want to use. But there's also sea mullet, spots, and croakers and bluefish on the piers. The Spanish mackerel bite seems to be tapering off like it will do this time of year, but you might catch a slot-sized drum or a black drum, a sheephead, things like that. So that's something to think about. So we'll take a little break right here. I'll be right back, and I'll talk to you about backcountry fishing.
Welding. It's ultimately the use of lightning to fuse metals and steel together. And at Wanchie's Metalworks, that's what they do best. Specializing in marine fabrication and repair on sport and commercial fishing vessels, Wanchie's Metalworks does fuel tank fabrication, rod racks, rocket launchers, T-tops, towers, struts, rudders, trim tabs, and green sticks, just to name a few. They also do interior and exterior handrails and stainless kitchen work too. Whether it's MIG and TIG or arc welding, Wanchie's Metalworks does it all. They're the realest of the real when it comes to metal and steel. Wanchie's Metalworks, 102 CB Daniels Road, Wanchie's.
Backcountry fishing. Well, the drum bite on the shoals in the Sound is really good as well. Overcast like that doesn't bother them. As long as you're not in squalls and lightning. We had showers yesterday, not much to it really, but the fish are already wet. But this is the time of year to go out and fish the shoals in the evenings for these big drum. That's not the only game in town out in the Sound. Now, mostly everything we'll talk about in today's report requires a boat. Not everything, but most everything. And so we talk every day about the drum and the speckled trout and the bluefish and the sheephead. We've been talking about that a lot. But my secret agent, Jenna Crossweight, who's a mate on the Crystal Dawn, sent me some pictures of some nice speckled trout that they caught with her grandfather, Captain Bobby Crossweight. And the headboat fishing has gotten pretty good this time of year. The crowds are smaller. They're catching things on baited double hook bottom rigs, and that would include Taylor bluefish, a few flounder, which have to be thrown back, some drum, black and red drum, speckled trout, I think I already mentioned that. Croakers and spots, they're really fun for the kids to catch. So in addition to that broken record, the good kind of broken record about the red drum, the fishing on the bottom for small fish is good too. They don't get the press, but man, there are some good eating fish. And as for me, one of my favorite things is a pan-fried fish where you head it and scale it and gut it, and you fry, you're taking the head off and the scales, you just scale it, but then fry it, pan fry it like that, kind of like you do a mountain trout, maybe you could say, and really, really good. So that is what is happening on the fishing front. We're keeping one eye on this storm, and down in the Gulf, got lots of friends right in the path of that storm, and this ain't their first one either. But I hate it for them, but I'm counting our blessings. We're going to get some rain out of it. Probably going to make it not a very great Saturday, which is the opening day of the muzzleloader deer season, and it's the youth day for deer season. So that's going to be a little bit challenging, but, it just is what it is. We'll take it. That's better than a Category 3 hurricane coming on shore or something like that. So I hope you have a great day, and I do appreciate you taking the time to find me, to get tuned in. I'm really enjoying my time here at One Boat Inc. And if you're out around town in the grocery stores, pick up a copy of Outer Banks This Week magazine, or go to outerbanksthisweek.com. And these are the people I'm teamed up with now, and they've been very, very good to me. So take a look at what they offer, and I'll keep you posted on what's happening on the fishing front. Have a great day.